Hello and welcome to Red Gaming Tech for your daily dose of your latest gaming news with myself, Amata. Today is the 23rd of October, and this time I'm bringing you some news from Apple, who have just announced their latest tablet, which goes by the name of the iPad Air. Now, this new tablet will be due on the 1st of November and will be featuring a MIMO technology, that's M-I-M-O, that will apparently allow it to load applications twice as fast as previous models and double the Wi-Fi transfer rate. In comparison to the very first iPad, it will be 8 times faster, and the graphical performance has received a rather nice kick, with it being 72 times quicker. Now, the new tablet is given the name Air due to its rather nice light weight of the device, as the whole thing comes in at about a pound. It's 7.5mm thick with a 43% smaller bezel, though the screen is still a 9.7-inch Retina display with a resolution of 24:8 by 1536 pixels. Now, as you might expect, there are a few different pricing models for this particular device, 4 to be exact, and we've got the 16GB, 32GB, 64, and of course 128GB models. Now, for the 16GB model, it's going to cost you £399 or $499. For the 32GB, it's going to cost you £479 or $599. And for the 64GB, it's going to cost you £559 or $699. And finally, for the beastly 128GB model, it's going to cost you the grand total of £639 or $799. Now, a cellular version will be launching at £499 or $629 for the 16GB, £579 or $729 for the 32GB, $659 or $829 for the 64GB, and £739 or $929 for the 128GB model. Now, as well as this, Apple is also releasing a new version of the iPad Mini, which will have a new Retina display for 8 times the graphics processing speed of its forebearer. Now, this is due later on in November and will be available in 3 colours, that being silver, white, and onyx. Now, as well as all this, because this is the end of the information that Apple released in its conference just yesterday, there is also some information regarding a couple of new models for the MacBook. And both of them are going to begin shipping pretty much immediately. Now, this 13-inch model is priced at $1,299 and will be having a 2.4 GHz Core i5 Haswell processor with 4 gigs of RAM and 128GB SSD. And allegedly it is 90% faster than last gen, will weigh 3.46 pounds, is 0.71 inches thin, and has a 9-hour battery life. There's also a 15-inch model, which will cost you the grand total of $2,000. And we'll be featuring a 2.0 GHz quad-core i7 with 8GB of DRAM, 259GB SSD, and an Intel Pro GPU. And as well as all this is the last bit of information, I promise you, a new Mac Pro was announced this December. And this device is hardly going to be cheap. It's going to cost you $2,999, and it will come with a 3.7 GHz quad-core Xeon processor, 12 gigs of RAM, dual Fire Pro, D300 graphics, 2 GB VRAM each, and a 256GB SSD. So there you have it, the latest information from Apple. Now, I personally would like to get a comparison of the improvements of the iPad Air in comparison to the previous generation of iPad rather than the first generation, but unfortunately that information was not released, and this was the only information available regarding the improvements to the specifications of the iPad Air. Still, you have some nice information there, as well as some good info for the MacBook side of things, if you're into that, which, given that this is a primarily PC gaming channel, I don't think many of you are going to be interested in that. However, I did think you'd love to know at least the differences about the iPad Air and all that good stuff. Anyway, that is me done for this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.